Well, we will just go ahead and get started. I know we're 4 minutes past the hour here, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time and allow Tina to have enough time to go through her slides as well. So thank you for those that are with us, Colleen and Greg, and those who might be watching this via the recording. We are really excited to kind of take a new topic and bring it to you members. And just as a reminder, I have just a couple housekeeping items that I want to share with you. And really that is, use that chat box if you have any questions as we go through Tina's talk today. If you have any questions for her or want to engage with other people on the call, please use the chat box for that. And now I will go ahead and turn it over to our executive director, Miss Amy, to get us started.
Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for attending. Hopefully everybody is staying happy and healthy and all that through these times, and navigating whatever is going on in your lives right now. I know for me it's praying that my kids stay in school. But yeah, so welcome to Tina. We are always excited to have these new opportunities come across our desks, and are happy to host this webinar today. I have the privilege to introduce Tina, and then I will turn it over, and then at the end I'll just close off with a couple upcoming chamber events. Tina Montgerber is with the Alzheimer's and Dementia Alliance of Wisconsin. She is the Dementia Outreach Specialist for Greene and Rock Counties with a local office at the Beloit Public Library. Tina is a certified social worker and has her master's degree in adult education focusing on human services. She has served in the area of social work for the past 24 years. Tina specializes in linking others to community resources. She is knowledgeable about working with people who experience Alzheimer's or related dementia, intellectual and developmental disabilities, physical disabilities, aging issues, traumatic brain injuries, and focuses her to support family caregivers. Tina's professional goal is to assist others in helping themselves. She is a strong advocate for those without a voice and empowers others to advocate as well. She is passionate about working in underserved communities. When Tina's not busy with her professional life, she enjoys spending time with her teenage son and other family members. Tina's personal interests include having a strong faith life, singing, being with friends and family, brain games, and spending quiet time with her cats. Tina, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Amy. And thank you to the Chamber for inviting me to be here today to present C.A.L.M, the C.A.L.M approach and finding calm during crisis. So just a little background with this approach was really our agency was looking for something for us as staff initially to figure out what we were going to do with the pandemic and everything moving virtually, and we felt stuck. We just weren't sure what to do because everything we did was in person, live, meeting with people, putting on programs, in front of a live audience. So this was a nice approach for us to learn as a staff, and then we decided to share that with the people that we work with because we were finding we were getting a lot of calls from people who were also stuck, not knowing how to move forward. And so this was wonderful, the C.A.L.M approach. And C.A.L.M was created actually by Dr. Stephanie Reinold, and she comes from Texas. She's a psychiatrist. And it was created to help people respond to traumatic events, help them mitigate their responses to the situation so that they can be more positive. And we found, wow, that's exactly what we needed to find, was some positivity in everything that was going on back in March and April especially, and as this pandemic kind of continues. So the feelings we were all feeling during a crisis, and you might be feeling these as well, was, being sad, depressed, lonely, especially when we were stuck at home, aggravated, on edge, irritated, angry. I think some of these feelings continue the longer this goes on, and as things, there just seems to be so much unrest right now. People are feeling lost, afraid, disconnected. They're overwhelmed. There's that stuck, feeling distracted, even just can't keep your focus. Really grieving, our loss of normal and the loss of our routine. And then afraid of future changes, that anticipatory grief of what is to come, what is it yet that we're facing that we just don't have control over. So using the CALM method, really we all experience stress in our lives, and everybody reacts and copes with stress in a different way. And what is stressful for one person might not be stressful for someone else. So CALM is an acronym for a structured therapeutic approach that has been demonstrated to be effective in helping people reduce their stress, anxiety, and depression symptoms. It helps people respond in a more positive way. And it's an important message for anyone out there who might be struggling during these unprecedented and abnormal times that we're going through today. So CALM is an acronym, like I said. The C stands for create over consume. The A is for action focused. L is lean in and learn. And then M is for moving forward. And we're going to go through each of those a little bit to kind of give you an idea of how to use this CALM approach or CALM method in your everyday life. So for creating, the C, create over consume. Do we consume? Every day we consume food, information, adult beverages, the news, things on Facebook, Twitter, FaceTime. We read the newspaper, we hear gossip, weather, environment, stimulation, communication, conflict. It goes on and on, all the things in a 24-hour period that we consume. And really what we're trying to focus on is making sure that we create more than we consume in life. So think about it more like you're listening on and you're being on the passive end of something. That's the consuming. But we want to be mindful of how we create. So how can we create versus consume? Creating is active and it causes something to come into being. Where consuming is that passive, just sitting back, kind of letting it happen. And it's using or destructing of something. Creating engages imagination and our memory. More types of creations than could even be listed. There's so many things that we can do, like cooking breakfast, creating a schedule for yourself. Maybe it's a new schedule now, starting a new hobby or something that you always wanted to do. Maybe now you finally have some time that you can do that. Volunteer, putting yourself out there by creating more. And when you actively create something, you are actually creating the ability to flip a switch on in your brain to a problem-solving pace. And that's really important because we want to get to that place where we can problem solve. It's important that we process and we're engaging. It's more the doing something than the final product. So I know some people will say that it's been hard for them to sit down and maybe they were always a scrapbooker, but they can't seem to focus on scrapbooking right now. Well, maybe the process of going through pictures is something that's more important than actually coming up with a final product or that scrapbook. And this really helps to improve our mental and our physical health. So how can we create? We can use adult coloring books. We can share those pictures that we're creating with our friends. We can write a letter to a friend or family member, send cards, go back to being old-fashioned, and maybe having a pen pal. Listen to music and let it move you. Dance with it. Paint what you're seeing outside. There's been some beautiful sunsets that we've had. We've had some beautiful sunrises. Maybe painting's not your thing, or maybe you just want to experiment. Arrange some flowers. We've had a lot of people that have been gardening this year. You can't even buy soil right now because everybody wanted to get out and garden. Some people were building their decks. You can't even find lumber. There's a lumber shortage because people have been so busy. So that's all about creating, filling your bird feeders, you know, counting the birds, identifying the birds, drum a rhythm, trying some new beats, read a poem, listen to a sonnet, write a haiku. You know, all of that is creating. Jot down 3 things you're grateful for from your day. You know, that attitude of gratitude. It's all important, and it's all creating more than we're consuming. So moving on to the A, that is action focused. So how can we be action focused? Action is doing something rather than being passive. So it's easy to be passive and just react to the situations as they come our way. But we need to do something, even if it's something small. So it gives us a sense of positive accomplishment. We want to seek solutions to our problems and then act on those solutions. So how can we be action focused? It's important to identify our feelings or our problems. You know, how is it that we're feeling right now? Brainstorm ideas to look at problems from a different angle. And it's okay to talk to someone else, you know, and brainstorm with them about what's going on and maybe listening to their angle, you know, what is their perception of what is happening. Try immediate problem solving to work on calming down that emotional response in your body. It's really important that we breathe. We have an opportunity to, you know, take a deep breath, let out, you know, that breath, and do that 10 times, 15 times, as long as it takes to ground yourself so that you can calm down that emotional response. Because what happens to something when we're upset and there's identified trauma or something that we're afraid of or something has scared us is that our primitive brain goes into and it just kind of reacts. You know, we go into that fight, flight, or freeze, and we want to be able to calm that down so that we can still think things through and get to that problem-solving place in our brain. And then we have to challenge ourselves to really focus on what is it that we can control and what is it that we have to let go of. Because there are a lot of things that we don't have that control over. So it's easy to try and be action-oriented when you can have a check-in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I doing? What am I feeling? What is it that I can do to be active today? You know, to help me, you know, move my body and do things, even maybe acts of kindness. You know, that's the giving part of us helps also. It's better than, you know, receiving, they say, right? So acts of kindness can even just help, even if it's just within our family, because right now everybody's struggling. So look at a change in your routine as a chance to make a new routine. And I know our routines have definitely been disrupted during this pandemic. Use task-oriented coping versus emotion-oriented coping. Don't let our emotions take control. Look for difficult situations and try to respond to them before you react. Use techniques to calm or focus the situation. That might be your deep breathing, making sure that, you know, if you're someone who meditates or you have a prayer life, you know, those are things that we can do to try and focus and calm ourselves. Using movement or song to redirect the situation, that can be a good distraction as well. Again, here's that random acts of kindness. And using positive self-care and humor. We want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And humor is also, you know, laughter is just good medicine. So here's some ideas. Talk about your feelings and listen to those responses. So again, just talking to somebody and listening to yourself as you're talking. Be proactive in responding to behaviors and your unmet needs. Use strong self-care. Make sure you're eating well, you're getting proper rest and sleep. Still continuing to do your chores. A lot of times this is focused on the care receiver or caregiver. So if you're a caregiver, whether it be to, maybe an adult parent, an adult child or a parent, or you have your children learning from home like I do today, you want to make sure you're still taking care of yourself. Write a letter to a neighbor and leave it in their mailbox. Maybe you were used to talking to them or having coffee, but you're just not comfortable doing that right now, but we can still stay in contact. Random acts of kindness reduce stress and make others feel good. Make sure that you're walking or you're riding or you're moving for a change of pace. We don't want to just sit in our chairs and that's where we stay all day. Donate to a charity, order takeout, do something different with your day. The L in the C.A.L.M method stands for lean in and learn. And how can we do that? So really this means how can we look at this situation differently and find something of value so we learn from it and we can share that with others. So I've really seen this pandemic as an opportunity to look at my work life right now. I don't want to go back into the rat race. I'm kind of enjoying working from home. I can do a lot from home. I can still talk to people. I can control my schedule. And I think right now it's really important to do all of that, to take care of yourself. And that's something that I've learned about myself as a result of this pandemic. But how can we lean in and learn? So it's important that we engage and we enjoy things that we're doing. It helps to build confidence and support. It gives us a sense of accomplishment when we're able to learn something new. I know a lot of people, I've been checking on Facebook and they've been learning a new language right now during this time. And what an opportunity to do that we haven't probably ever had time for. It builds better emotional health for people when they're having the opportunity to learn something. It increases our creativity and our engagement with others. And we have the opportunity to enjoy humor. I know a lot of my friends are taking this time to, there's nothing good on television right now. So thankfully we're having the chance to, maybe you're streaming, comedies, old movies that you haven't had a chance to watch for a long, long time, or going through, a lot of chances to, I see Greg on here, you can have a chance to take part in our, what Biff has to offer. And I know that's coming up and we're having all those opportunities, to have drive-in movies and we're going virtual. For some people, just learning how to use the virtual world right now and going on Zoom and our go-to meetings, all of that is an opportunity to learn technology. And we were kind of forced into it. We didn't have much of a chance to learn. We learned on the fly, really. So this might be a time for you to try a new hobby, something you've always wanted to do and you haven't had time. Ask questions about the past. Maybe this is a good time to reminisce. Stay connected. It's so important that we stay socially connected while we're staying physically distanced from people. But, talk to people, maybe your parents, your grandparents, about, what was it like for them in the past? Those things are an opportunity for us to write down those memories so that we have them for our family. Ask others about their feelings. How are they doing with all of this? All these changes, all of this unrest. Listen to a new type of music. It taps into a different part of the brain. Try a new route to a familiar place. And we will say this all the time. You want to exercise your brain. So one of those things that we have to do, if we go grocery shopping, take a different route. Or in the grocery store, go a different way in the grocery store than you normally do. You're going to find that it's actually challenging, even though it's a grocery store you've always shopped in. But it's just those little things that you can learn about yourself. Actively listen and respond to comments. So this is an opportunity that we've had now that we can actually spend more time with our family. And we might be going a little crazy spending a lot of time with our family, but really listen to what people have to say and make those conversations productive. Ask yourself how you feel about something new. You know, what is it that you'd like to try? You know, do you have a bucket list? If not, maybe it's time to write down a bucket list of things that you'd like to do. And then finally, the M in the C.A.L.M method is move forward. So how can we move forward? It's really important that we think about the future positively. I know that's really difficult because we don't know when this pandemic is going to end, but we need to take small steps towards some kind of goal. And sometimes it's baby steps. So moving forward also means moving your body in some way every day. It's important that you get out and get some exercise, get a breath of fresh air. If you can walk, take a short walk or a long walk or ride a bike. Just keep moving, even if it's just moving around your house on a rainy day. Because we want to keep our body in motion and we want to keep that going forward. So how can we move forward? During a crisis, people can emotionally loop on the same subjects over and over again. That's what we did as an organization for that first couple weeks when we were all shut down. We got stuck. And so we needed a chance to know how to move forward, to take those baby steps. It's important that we see a future. Although it may be different, it's important. And one of the things that we learned while going through this C.A.L.M method and learning about it was you have to have hope. Hope really helps us to look to the future, right? So I have this saying, it's on my dining room wall, that says, hope is the joyful expectation of something good. And we have to know that something good is still going to come from this pandemic. So make sure you keep that hope and keep moving forward. So move from where you are both physically and emotionally, being important always to take you those special small steps to incrementally move, but make sure you're moving in a positive direction. For some people, that might mean getting off of Facebook, right? Because there's a lot of negativity going on right now on Facebook, on Twitter, even just watching the news. So you may move forward by moving away from certain things, certain people. I've never unfriended anybody on Facebook, but I have unfollowed them a lot during this pandemic because I need to surround myself with positive people right now. And so you might find that you need to do that too. There will come a time where I will follow them again, but right now, until we get through this, for my mental health and for my physical health, I just find I need to focus on the positive. So other ideas to move forward. Plan a drive to a new location, right? I know a lot of people that are just driving places they've never been. Doesn't mean you have to get out. But, you know, it might be nice to get out and find a local park that you can kind of stretch your legs before you go back home again. Some people are taking this chance to really focus on nature, and they're seeing what's out there when they go to a different place. You know, they're taking pictures of flowers, of birds, of the different insects, you know, just going somewhere new to keep you moving. Walk around your living room 4 times. You know, if that's all you're able to do that. Take a walk outside, try chair yoga or Tai Chi videos. They're all over YouTube right now. You know, opportunities to keep your body moving. Also, plan for a picnic when the weather's nice. You know, when's the last time you had a chance to take a picnic? Maybe more times now when you're driving through Culver's and getting drive-through, you know, and eating in your car. There's a lot of opportunities right now to take that food that you're getting as carryout and taking it to a park and having that opportunity to really enjoy the weather. we're not going to plant flowers for the summer right now, but I think you can plant some mums. You know, there's a lot of things that you can plant right now for a fall garden. I know some people who are planting lettuces and radishes and opportunities to have a good fall salad, you know, when their garden comes into bloom. So those are opportunities. And also you can plant bulbs, you know, having the chance of something to look forward to see in the spring, or planting a tree, you know, that all gives us the opportunity again, just moving forward and having that hope of something to look forward to. And that's really what I have to present on the C.A.L.M method today. This just map shows you an opportunity of, if you know someone who needs support from the Alzheimer's and Dementia Alliance, we're there for them. We serve 15 counties with our main office being in Madison. But we have offices in Green Lake, Marquette, and Waushara County, Columbia and Sauk County, Dane, Green, Iowa, and Lafayette County. My office is in Beloit, and I do serve Rock and Green now. We also have Crawford, Grant, and Richland counties, and Adams and Juneau County. But the nice thing about us going virtually is we're able to go everywhere now. So our programs have gone virtual. And even though our main office is in Madison and we serve 14 counties around them, we've served actually people as far as Canada at this point, which is wonderful. And they can attend our education programs. And I offer family education programs. I have a support group that actually meets outside right now while the weather's nice at the library. My memory cafe is meeting in Beloit at Preservation Park right now. And that's an opportunity for people to come and socialize. We're doing a drumming circle in October. So if you know or have someone that needs some support or education around memory loss, feel free to point them in my direction, and I will give you my phone number, 608-843-3544. And I can help people over the phone through Zoom, or we're doing outside visits right now while the weather's nice as well. So that is what I have for my program, and I'm going to stop sharing so I can see all of you. Oh, look at that. It's so nice to see all of you. And then if anybody has questions, I do see some things in the chat, and my PowerPoint is in the chat, as well as if you just want our C.A.L.M flyer to hang up somewhere in your office or at home to remind you of those, what the acronym stands for. So that is what I have today, and I wish you all well, and you know, please stay healthy. And let's do our question and answers now. Maggie, do you want to read them off to me if somebody had questions?
I can, yeah.
Thank you.
Really what you're missing in the chat here, Tina, is just a little bit of kind of chit chat between everybody else. And I reshared the PowerPoint for some of the ladies and people that had jumped on a little bit later. Greg sounds like he wants to give a shout out that Nancy would like to say thanks to Tina for connecting her with Azura in Monroe and the virtual dementia tour. What a lifesaver.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
And that's all we have, unless anybody else have any other. You can unmute yourselves too if you would like. We've got a pretty small group, so anybody have any final thoughts or comments for Tina?
I just think that the comments about Facebook and the news cycles is pretty important. I mean, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I'm a little high strung, but boy, sometimes I just find myself just diving into, you know, ill feelings just because I gotta say, get out of there, come back up the rabbit hole from Facebook, because I don't like to see friends battling it out with, mean-spiritedness online. And it really does get into you before you even know it.
Yeah.
And I know I do have the BBC on in the background now, but staying away from some of our domestic news services is probably a good idea too, but it's so hard not to want to know what's going on. It's a drug. And, as often as we can, we try to just shut it down and walk away for a while. But yeah, it's really deceptively frustrating.
Yep. And that's really that consuming part is we're consuming sometimes too much news, too much social media, that it's not good for our mental health. And therefore, then it becomes not good for our physical health in the long run. So yeah, it is really important to make sure that you're recognizing that in your, just like you said, even just domestic news. You can listen to it almost all day long and grab a little bit and then run away.
One other thing I just wanted to mention was that, with our virtual, our hybrid festival in February, and depending on what we show, we're going to go virtual on Wednesday nights for Biff Year Round too, starting next week, I'm hoping. And, you did such a nice job for us there and at the festival. So I wanted you to know that, the door is definitely open. It might be one like this, but, a scene like this, but we're going to, we'd like to have you back. You provided people with a lot of great information.
Well, thank you. It was an honor to be able to be part of that. That was a wonderful documentary. So
yeah,
if anybody's out there wants to look up When All That's Left Is Love.
Yeah, we just heard from Eric Gordon. He's anxious to do a workshop at BIF 2021. So
He is.
yeah, if we can get him back, if it'll work to have him in town, we're not sure what the live thing is going to be like yet.
Yeah.
But we'll certainly have him workshopping online like this, so he'll be back.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I love this partnership stuff. Anytime we can work together.
Does anybody else have a question for Tina?
I don't have a question, but mine is more of the comment off of the creation. I have recently started crafting a lot, and that has been an absolute lifesaver for me. My husband doesn't really see me a lot, and but it's just I'm out in the garage crafting or in my craft room, and it has really helped me stay away from the social media and stay away from watching the news or, just being around the toxicity
Yep.
of the world that we're living in. And I think that has just been, and I'm not artsy, but I have found that, I bought a Cricut, that kind of stuff, that it has allowed me to de-stress and not be worried about everything else that's going on.
Right. And remember, it's not about the final product. It's about learning something new. So
Right.
That's wonderful. And it's amazing how people have really gone into survival mode, and tried to figure out what is it that I can do right now. You can't find yeast because people are baking bread for the first time. It's just like all these strange things. First of all, it was toilet paper, which is just weird. But then things are like, yeah, because people are keeping busy. They're surviving right now. And they figured this out on their own. But we want to share this message in case they haven't figured it out yet. Hello. Mary's got a visitor.
Food delivery.
Oh.
Oh, she's got to go.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking time out of your lunch break to learn more about C.A.L.M and how to get yourself through any situation that throws you into, some trauma, really. And feel free to share this with your friends. And I am going to be doing this at the library in November. You want to share that information once we get the final stuff worked out. And they're going to do Facebook Live in case watch that from afar as well. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anybody else before I wrap up here?
No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, Tina, so much. I have a full page of ideas for myself.
Wonderful.
And things that I can do for each of those things. So hopefully I can follow through on a couple of them. Just a couple things on the chamber end. We do have a couple events coming up. We have our Influential Women in Business Luncheon coming up on September 23rd. Registration is open for that on our website. So we are taking individual registrations, and then we have table sponsorships available. So you can virtually, we're using a new platform. It's very cool. It'll let us network a little bit, and it will be a lot different than Zoom. So spread the word on that. Also, if you have somebody you'd like to nominate for one of our Influential Women in Business Awards, I know that you all know amazing women. So go to our website. Also, you can nominate also on there for our influential women in business. Again, that's September 23rd. And then on October 7th, we're hosting a virtual candidate forum with several of our partners. There is no registration required for this one. You just go to our Facebook event page for that. And this will be a candidate forum for Assembly District 31 and 45. They both have opponents this time around, so we are gonna host a forum to talk about some of the issues going on right now. So unless anybody has any questions for me, I think we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye for now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Everyone, for attending.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.